From a cryptic poem to a dangerous hunt for fortune, this is the story of how the $2 million Fenn Treasure takes lives. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. In 2010, author and art dealer Forrest Fenn allegedly hid a treasure chest somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. The chest supposedly contains numerous gold coins, nuggets, emeralds, diamonds, rubies, and sapphires. Also, a turquoise bead bracelet found in the late 19th century, ancient Chinese carved jade figures, Pre-Columbian gold mirrors, and other precious items. Even the bronze chest itself is a valuable artifact dating back to 16th century Italy. The overall value of the treasure is believed to be anywhere from $2 to $6 million. After hiding the chest, Fenn included a 24-line poem in his self-published 2011 memoir, The Thrill of the Chase, containing clues that, according to him, revealed the treasure's location. Fenn's cryptic poem started gaining traction online after a blogger shared its 9 central clues. Tens of thousands of fortune hunters were drawn to the mystery, and the hunt for Fenn's treasure began. The eccentric millionaire reportedly hasn't told anyone, including his wife, children, and grandchildren, where he hid the chest. He has interacted with seekers online to offer some additional clues, and many of them carefully analyze his words for other potential hints. Before we move on, it's time for our quiz question. According to Fenn, why did he create the treasure hunt? Did he want to A. sell his book, B. give people hope, C. be remembered, or D. challenge people's imagination? Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and stay tuned to find out the right answer. Forrest Fenn is a veteran US Air Force pilot who flew 328 missions in the Vietnam War and was awarded a Silver Star for his service. After retirement from the Air Force, he partnered up with a man named Rex Arrowsmith, from whom he learned the art business. They opened an art gallery together, which Fenn would operate with his wife Peggy as the Fenn Gallery. Located in Santa Fe, New Mexico, the business sold various items, from artifacts to fine art. Then, in the late 1980s, Fenn was diagnosed with cancer. It was during this time that he decided to hide a chest containing various valuable items in the mountains and leave its legacy for would-be adventurers. His intention was to take a whiskey bottle and sleeping pills and end his life on his own terms, near the chest's location. However, the cancer ultimately receded. Nevertheless, Fenn waited until he was 80 to hide the chest, and then included the location in the Thrill of the Chase cryptic poem. About a year before he started the treasure hunt, Fenn was investigated by the FBI in an artifact looting case. He wasn't charged, but 2 people who were also being investigated committed suicide, and Fenn has claimed the FBI was to blame for their deaths. A connection between Fenn's treasure and these fatalities hasn't been determined yet. Official They Will Kill You merchandise is now available at theywillkillyou.com. Some of it is to die for. Number 4. Randy Bilyeu. 54-year-old Randy Bilyeu from Broomfield, Colorado, is believed to have been the first to perish in search of Fenn's treasure. According to his ex-wife Linda, the man had made it his life's mission to find the chest. For 2 weeks he scouted along the river west of Santa Fe before setting out on January the 5th, 2016, accompanied by his dog, Leo. He'd brought a raft and was equipped with a GPS device, a wetsuit, and waders. As the days passed, his friends and family got worried, and his ex-wife filed a missing persons report. His dog and the raft were recovered the next day, but the search for Bilyeu was called off by the end of the month due to lack of evidence. The hope that the grandfather would be found alive began to dissipate as the months passed. His remains were eventually recovered along the Rio Grande, north of Cochiti Lake, about 6 months after he'd gone missing. In light of the incident, Fenn advised people not to go looking for the chest in the winter and reminded them to take into account that he was 80 years old when he hid it. This meant it was in a place that an elderly person could reach. That seems to be the million-dollar question and a source alternatively for both joy and heartache when it comes to the treasure hunters and their families. So far, according to Fenn, some have been within 200 feet of the treasure, but naturally, he hasn't released their names. As of the making of this video, nobody has found it. There are a few people who've called it a hoax. Those voices are contradicted by people like Douglas Preston, one of Fenn's friends and a New York Times #1 best-selling author. He claims to have seen the treasure personally and ensured naysayers that it's real and not a publicity stunt. Since no one has found the treasure, the answer still lies in the lines of the poem and the additional hints Fenn has supplied. Many treasure hunters believe that it's in Yellowstone. Fenn said that one clue is of particular importance, that seekers should begin it where warm waters halt and take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk, put in below the home of Brown. Other clues include that it's located somewhere between 5,000 and 10,200 feet above sea level, at least 8.25 miles north of Santa Fe, either in Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, or New Mexico. It's not on private property, in a cemetery, or in a dangerous place. It's in the same spot where Fenn left it in 2010, but he hasn't confirmed whether it's buried or not. Number 3. Jeff Murphy. Jeff Murphy traveled to the Montana-Wyoming border from the Chicago suburbs in search of Fenn's treasure. He went through the northern gates of Yellowstone National Park and set off on a mountain trail that he should have completed in roughly half a day. The hours went by and the 53-year-old made no contact, so his wife declared him missing. A massive search operation was put together consisting of a helicopter, 5 dog teams, 4 horse teams, and 8 hiking teams. Murphy's body was eventually found at the bottom of a steep slope. He'd fallen to his death 500 feet. While officials didn't offer many details about the circumstances of Murphy's death, a news station called KULR-TV obtained the facts through a Freedom of Information Act request. The treasure hunt has drawn people from all walks of life, some of whom aren't prepared for facing the mountains. They can fall, drown, or even get attacked by wild animals. Aside from those who've died, there have been people who've gotten lost or stranded in snow. The lines of the poem are cryptic, hence open to interpretation. This means that some might challenge themselves to reach dangerous areas on cliffsides or through raging waters, believing they've found the right answer. In light of the accidents, the authorities, friends and family members of those who've died, and others have urged Fenn to put an end to the treasure hunt. He's considered it and expressed his regrets, but ultimately refused to do so, citing that many other people have had positive experiences while searching for his treasure chest. He claims that some have even turned their life around from contemplating suicide, and that estranged families became reunited through the treasure hunt. It's a double-edged blade that has put Fenn himself in jeopardy. He's been harassed, threatened, and shamed. One man was arrested for stalking him, while another was arrested for breaking into his house, looking for the treasure. Despite all that, Fenn insists that he's the only person who knows the location of the treasure and that he, as of the making of this video, would not give it up. Number 2. Eric Ashby. Driven by the desire to find the chest, 31-year-old Eric Ashby had moved to Colorado in 2016. He was last seen rafting on the Arkansas River on June the 28th, 2017. At some point, his raft overturned and his remains were found about a month later, 10 to 15 miles downstream from his last known position. DNA confirmation of the treasure seeker's identity was released by the Colorado Bureau of Investigations towards the end of January 2018. In light of the incident, Ashby's friends and family and others have been pushing for a piece of legislation in Colorado that would be called Eric's Law. It turns out that 4 people had witnessed the moment his raft overturned, but didn't do anything about it. This type of legislation is referred to as a duty to rescue law. It will require individuals to intervene, seek aid, or notify the authorities when they see someone in peril if certain conditions are met. As of the making of this video, Ashby is the most recent life claimed by the search for Fenn's treasure. He died just 2 weeks after another treasure seeker. So, why did Fenn create the treasure hunt? While there might be truth in the other answers as well, according to the man himself, it was B, to give people some hope. At the time, the country was going through a recession, so he wanted to give hope to those with a sense of adventure and the will to go exploring. He was also reportedly motivated by the desire to get sedentary people, especially children and teenagers, out into the mountains and the sunshine. Number 1. Parris Wallace. Pastor Parris Wallace from Grand Junction, Colorado disappeared just 2 weeks prior to Eric Ashby. He told his family that he would go looking for the buried treasure about 50 miles north of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Then he didn't show up for a family gathering, which got them worried. The police tracked the pastor's phone and found his car near the Teos Junction Bridge in New Mexico. Inside the vehicle, they discovered receipts indicating he'd purchased supplies and a rope from a local store. A torn rope, which had been tied around a rock on a riverbank, was subsequently located a short distance from Wallace's car. His body was later found 5 to 7 miles downstream. Despite the lives taken by the treasure hunt, it seems that it will keep going until the chest is found or Fenn puts an end to it. Thanks for watching. Would you ever go looking for Fenn's treasure? Let us know in the comments section below.